Hey guys, this is going to be my full review on the BulletHD Biker Pro. Now this is actually a motorcycle camera. It's specifically designed for motorcycles, and you'll see when I unbox it how it's specifically designed for motorcycles and doesn't really work very well as a car camera or an action camera. But here you can see the specs on the front. It is water resistant and comes with a lot of different accessories, and there's also all these optional accessories. Being water resistant is very important to be a motorcycle camera because you could be riding in the rain. Now this camera actually supports GoPro mounts, so if you have a GoPro or any similar camera with the same mounts, it is compatible. So here's some technical specifications. Now this camera does have the Novatech 96655, which is in the SG9665GC from Street Guardian, so it should have really great quality video. You can pause it if you wanted to see any of these specs here or what's included, but it does come with quite a lot of accessories, including a hard wiring kit and everything you need to really have a neat installation on your motorcycle. Now, besides having a water resistant design and all the accessories you need to have a clean motorcycle installation, this does actually have Wi-Fi too. So there is an app actually from this company that supports live video feed and transferring of files or watching files. So let's get into the box. Now this was sent to me for review by Pure28, and this camera can be purchased at shop.pure28.com or Amazon, and I believe Pure28 is the exclusive dealer on Amazon that sells this camera. Now this doesn't come with a memory card, but I would recommend the Transcend brand. I've never had issues with them, while I have had issues with SanDisk in the past. So here we got the actual camera. You'll see the power and Wi-Fi button on the front. When you turn it on, the eyes actually glow. Then on the side we'll have the USB power input and then the mini HDMI output. So some people might think this design is a little childish or tacky, but I think it's okay. I mostly like the fact that it's really durable. There you can see the memory card slot. It's a plastic design, and it really does seem like if it fell onto the pavement it would really survive a hard impact. So let's look at the other stuff included. Here's the lens. It is like a bullet style camera lens, and like I said, it comes with a GoPro style mount, so it is compatible with other GoPro accessories, or at least the GoPro mounts. And it's easily removable by just pushing in those tabs. Now the camera actually does have optional vinyl stickers you can put on the camera body, so you could change the design. Personally, I don't really care for accessories like that. I would just prefer something dark and discreet. So here we got the rest of the accessories packed in the bottom of the box. Like I said before, it does actually come with everything you need to hardwire it to your motorcycle. So here you can see this is the main hardwiring body or unit, and there's red for power and black for ground. You can see those prods will actually go into another cord. It'll make it a much cleaner install compared to a lot of other dash cam hardwiring kits, at least. On the top you'll actually see that's where a second USB port is, where you can actually connect a second camera to the same hardwiring kit, which is a pretty cool feature. So here's the mini HDMI cable, which is pretty stiff. Here's some twist ties. Here's the power cord, which is a mini USB cord that'll plug into the hardwiring kit and then to the main DVR. And then the mini HDMI, of course, plugs into the back of the camera here, which then also connects to the DVR. Here are the other cables I was talking about. So these will connect to the main hardwiring kit and then connect to either the ground or your power wire. There's a mount and a couple of cable clips. So these you clamp onto a live wire, and then the red wire will connect to it. So here you can see the mount is very thin, And at first it's really hard to get out. So I struggled to get it out of the mount. But once you actually install it to your motorcycle or wherever you're going to use it, once it's stuck to something, it's a lot easier to pull out. So don't be too worried when you first put it in that it's really stiff, because once that 3M adhesive is stuck to something, it gives it enough friction where you can pull it out pretty easily. So I finally got it loose, and I didn't put it back in until I installed it. Again, here's the power cord, which is a mini USB cable. So it will just plug into the main hardwiring kit unit. And then of course the other end plugs into the camera. Here you can see those cables that I mentioned before plug into the red and black wires. Then the red one, which is the live wire, has a built-in fuse. And these blue things again are to tap into an existing wire, so that way you don't have to splice anything. This will give you a much cleaner install. I really appreciate that they included these in the package. And here's the camera again, and you can see, I mentioned before, you can actually put little vinyl stickers on it to change the pattern if you want to. So since I don't have a motorcycle, I did install it onto my mountain bike. I just stuck it onto the side right there, and I used a GoPro style handlebar mount to mount the lens to it. And this is just a temporary install. So my video footage will be a little wobbly. This is a mountain bike. It's not that great on pavement, so I am pedaling most of the time since it doesn't coast very far. But overall, I am impressed with the video quality. It does use the same processor, like I mentioned before, as the Street Guardian SG9665GC, which is the Novatech 96655. So this does have pretty high bit rate. With audio at the fine video quality, it's about 17 megabits per second or 17.6 megabits per second with audio, and you can actually adjust that, but that's the default, so that's a pretty high default. So you'll notice that it does pick up a lot of audio, the gravel on the road, my shifting, and quite a lot of wind. But the wind is to be expected for a camera that's mounted on the outside of a vehicle or a bike. Overall, like I said before, I really like the colors. Everything looks very lifelike. It doesn't look washed out at all. It's very detailed. And overall, the audio picks up very well, even though there is quite a lot of wind. Now this camera does seem to do very well while looking straight at the sun also. You can see here, even when I'm looking right at the sun, you can still read the signs on the side of the road. So there's not a bunch of silhouetting or dark spots on stuff like signs or cars passing by. Now if you want to change the settings with this, you can just turn on the Wi-Fi, and when you download the app you can connect to the camera and change any of the settings, view files, or even view a live feed. Just make sure you get the right app, or the correct app, because I originally downloaded the wrong one and all of the features didn't work. So make sure you're getting the BulletHD Biker Pro app, and it will have this background with the motorcycle on it. Otherwise, if you don't, some of the features, like I said, won't work correctly. What didn't work for me is that I couldn't look up recorded files. They just weren't showing up in the list. So here you can see the main menu. You can change the resolution. 1080p 30 is the highest resolution. There is also 720p 60. There's a time-lapse mode. Video time is how long you want the looped files to be. So there's 3, 5, and 10 minutes. And you can turn the loop recording off if you'd like. Now video quality, the default is fine, and that's what the 17.6 megabits per second is. But you can, like I said, raise that to superfine and even have higher bitrate. But personally, I think at 1080p, anything higher than 15 or 17 megabits is more than enough anyways. So we got a date stamp, frequency, which you want at 60 Hertz in the US, otherwise lights will flicker. Now the auto power off, after 3 minutes, the default setting. If your camera is on but not receiving power or recording, it will actually shut off after 3 minutes, so you don't just kill the battery if it's not connected to a permanent power source. We got the G sensor sensitivity like a lot of other dash cameras, so if you hit a bump or get into an accident, it'll lock that clip, and that way it won't loop over that and record over it. Of course, the audio record on or off is just if you want the default audio to be on or off when your camera turns on and starts recording. So then we have a couple other settings, such as the Wi-Fi name, which is just what you want your Wi-Fi SSID to be called. You can reset your password. You can change the settings to default. You can format the memory card. You can give a different name in the cameras, so when you're watching the video files you can have a custom title on the bottom. And about is just the version of this app. So you can look at the files you have recorded on the memory card, but like I said before, you need to have the correct version of the app, otherwise these aren't going to show up. But you can see you can download them or delete them from your smartphone, and it is on iOS and Android, of course. So here you can see this isn't actually a live clip, but when you load the app it'll go straight to this live video feed, and then you'll see on the bottom left there's the video files, the settings, the record button, and then the video or picture mode. So this is the main menu of the screen, and I was pretty impressed actually that the live video feed is pretty quick. It's a lot more on time than other cameras I've tried. So here I'm just going to quick compare them to other similar cameras. The mount on this isn't there, but it's pretty thin. So here's the Mobius. The Mobius is noticeably shorter and thinner, but I do feel like the BulletHD is actually the most sturdy and durable of these cameras. I really feel like if it got into a big impact it actually could survive, and it has that water resistant door for the memory card. Now here we have the INOF C3, which is also a remote lens camera, but it seems a lot more fragile. And this is the VW898 by VW Tech. This one's actually almost the same size, which is surprising. Now I'm going to do a more direct comparison with the INOF C3 since they're the most comparable, but the BulletHD camera lens actually comes out pretty easily. You just pull those tabs and it pops right out. And it does have markings on it to show you which side is right side up. What's nice is the cable is removable, and the INOF C3 doesn't have a removable cable, so this is pretty nice. Now the Nav's remote lens is a mostly metal design, but it is also water resistant. It's also really hard to get out. I feel like in an accident it's more likely to stay in its mount, but if you're trying to move it from different mounts it can be sort of a pain. Now the BulletHD's lens wire is quite a bit thicker, but it does seem more durable. So it does seem more suited for on a motorcycle where it's going to get hit by weather. Overall, the Nav C3 came with a lot of different accessories and seems like it supports more uses, where the BulletHD definitely is targeting just motorcycles. So overall, I'm really impressed with this camera. I think the quality of the video is really great. The build quality of the camera seems very durable. Comes with quite a bit of accessories and supports GoPro accessories. And the fact that it really does come with everything you need to hardwire it to a motorcycle is really great. And I feel like it's the first camera that really hits the nail on a motorcycle camera. So this camera's retail price is about $170, which I think is pretty fair considering the chipset that's included provides very high quality video. It comes with everything you need, including a hardwiring kit, and overall it all seems very high quality. Again, this was sent to me for review by Pure28, so if you're interested in purchasing this camera, I will provide a link down below, and they were kind enough to provide a coupon code, so check the description down below for the link and the coupon code. Now, since I don't have a motorcycle, I didn't really feel like I could review this camera to the full extent that it should be, so I will be loaning this out to someone with a motorcycle, and that way I can get a lot better footage, such as at high speeds, at night, or in different weather conditions. So if you're interested in this camera, look forward to more videos in the future from this camera. So anyways, if you like this video or my other videos, I'd appreciate it if you hit like and subscribe. As usual, drive safe, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.